The 2023 season marked the beginning of a new era for Kyle Busch, as it was the first year of him driving for Richard Childress Racing. After over 10 years of driving for Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota, winning 2 championships and 60+ races, they were unable to reach a contract agreement. There were other problems. Of course, Mars had left the sport entirely, and Ty Gibbs was on his way up the rankings. It was safe to say Kyle Busch's days with the team were coming to an end, but for 2023, it was a whole new beginning. It was not like he was going to the same old Richard Childress Racing. Oh no, they were coming off of a good season. Tyler Reddick won 3 races, and Austin Dillon qualified for the playoffs, but Tyler Reddick was certainly the instrumental part in this whole turnaround. Without him, the team had little chance of improving. However, when it seemed like things were going in the right direction, Tyler Reddick surprised everybody by announcing he would move on to 2311 Racing. Kyle Busch was without question the perfect replacement. With his talents combined with the current state of RCR, it wasn't a question of if, but when he was going to win. After a disappointing 2022 season, you sense the feeling that entering 2023, Kyle Busch was rejuvenated. A top 3 finish in the exhibition clash is one thing, but almost winning your first Daytona 500 is another. If Daniel Suarez doesn't spin, perhaps the RCR duo could have came home 1-2. Once the field stacked up, everything went wrong, but it's all good. It's just a case of bad luck. The following week, at what would be the final Cup Series race at Fontana, he wouldn't need any luck in this straight up victory.
Kyle Busch can pretty much coast it home from here. What may be the final super speedway NASCAR race ever in Southern California.
RCR, baby.
Goes to Kyle Busch.
That's right. How about you, RCR and everybody? Kyle Busch, unbelievable. It's a big win. Huge win.
Not only did it feel like Kyle Busch and RCR were back, but the vibe after he won was something I have never seen before. He got way more cheers than boos, and it's not like he's never been cheered before, but this was certainly the loudest after a Kyle Busch victory. While his playoff spot was already secured, how was he doing in the regular season standings? Well, a quarter of a way into the season, he was sitting 8th in points. 1 win, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s. Pretty good start for the most part, but it would pale in comparison to how he would perform during the second quarter.
Keselowski gave Bubba a bump to the lead. White flag. Next flag ends the race.
Oh, big push.
Blaney
Turns
Bubba,
him.
around goes Bubba.
Oh, into Keselowski. Around. Oh, another hard shot. Allmendinger.
Caution waves.
You gotta make it all the way back around.
That's right.
He can coast from here. He's good.
He's got it. Kyle Busch is your winner. How about it?
Left. Up here. Nice work.
And last year's winner is going to get there.
Samantha, it's official, so all he's got to do is bring it around here. Battle right there for third.
Logano inside Larson, but off turn 4. Kyle Busch will get his 63rd career victory in the NASCAR Cup Series.
Halfway through the season, this team was on a roll. They were tied for first in the playoff standings while sitting 5th in the regular season one, but were only 31 points behind the leader. Looking back now, this would turn out to be the season's peak. Again, the 3 wins secured him, but in the regular season standings, he was beginning to fall off.
Kyle Busch has got smoke coming out of his car now.
A lot of damage to the right side.
Yeah, he's hit the fence with the right rear, maybe with the right front as well.
He just radioed in, it's killed.
Kyle Busch spins around and backwards. If you wait a moment, here comes the 7 of Coil of Joy. Another hard contact. Drivers, seems odd.
Looks like something might be on the racetrack there, guys. We'll have to take a look. Kyle down to the bottom of the racetrack and just up the racetrack into the door of the 12, and that brings him right around.
Just 2 guys racing hard for position. See right here, Kyle has forward momentum. Feels like he can get up the racetrack. Starts up the racetrack. That contact you spoke about just gets him turned around and contacting the wall. Not sure how much damage it is.
I'm surprised by that because we've seen a lot of cars using that bottom groove and being pretty stable.
I mean, you try to race and you try to run side by side, and I don't know, it's really not wide enough. Looked like I washed up, so it's all my fault.
Just locking up that tire, and that's not a track. That's not a corner where you typically see lock up, but he's actually just pushing as hard as he can in all the corners to be able to try to find speed, and he has to drive the car differently when it's down on power.
Yeah, pretty good. 4 tires, guys, 4 tires.
One of the hardest braking zones as far as car balance, because you're still kind of turning, which unloads that right front tire, and you can almost see it just skipping across the pavement right there. And this is a good decision. If you know it's that easy to lock up, come put fresh tires on it. If you continue, that tire will finally fail. You'll slide all the way through the tire, then it could be heavy damage.
They quickly went from a championship favorite to a giant question mark. In the first 6 races of the third quarter, they were involved in 3 different incidents, and it felt like Kyle Busch's confidence was completely shot. And the evidence can be found in this tweet saying, "I just don't know anymore." While there were lots of questions entering the playoffs, there were certainly a fair share of optimism. You have to remember, at one point during the regular season, this team was viewed as the championship favorite. They made it past the round of 16, but with only one top 10. To advance from the round of 12, they needed to pick up the pace quickly. Instead of doing that, their round of 12 was filled with mostly slow performances and bad luck. This DNF at Texas would mark the beginning of the end, as a 34th place finish as well as a 25th place finish at Talladega would put them in a hole so deep that a 3rd place finish at the Charlotte Roval wouldn't help. From championship favorites to being eliminated in the round of 12. A tough way to end the season, but this also begs the question, was Kyle Busch's 2023 season good or bad? Kyle Busch maintained the team's same level of success from a year prior. Their numbers are nearly identical, with Busch beating Reddick in nearly every stat category. He even made it further in the playoffs. So on paper, it is a good season, but with more context, you realize that a large portion of this team's success came during the first half of the season. They fell apart in the second half. Kyle Busch, Randall Burnett, and the rest of the team had no answers. So even though statistically it was kind of a better season than Reddick's, it doesn't matter because it's Kyle Busch. He's always viewed as a potential championship favorite entering every season. Those are the arguments I have for whether it was good or bad, so let me know in the comments what you think. In conclusion, Kyle Busch and RCR's season may not have ended the way they hoped, but they still have potential. But maintaining the same level of success in 2023 is probably not going to be enough to satisfy most NASCAR fans. They'll need him to either make the round of 8 or championship 4 for next season to be considered an improvement. Also, let me know in the comments if you think Kyle Busch's 2024 season is gonna be a better one. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.